Hello, everyone. I'm Savannah Anderson, and I chose the topic of the educational theory that was created by Maria Montessori. Hopefully, I'm saying that right. So, a little bit about Maria. She was an Italian physician and educator. I actually learned that, this is my baby Nellie, that she was the first woman in Italy to ever get a doctorate's degree in medicine. So, that's kind of cool. Um, so, when Marie was growing up, she had a real love of reading, and her family was always very supportive of her education and helped her to kind of continue that love of learning instead of having it diminish over time. Um, After she graduated, she opened a children's daycare center for underprivileged children, and it was there that she found while observing the children that they always learned best when they were at play and when they had the choice of what they were trying to learn about. So that is where she came up with the Montessori theory, and it is a theory that is just about how children learn best when we help them to use their natural desires to learn and acquire skill. Um, some of the main points about the theory are just that all children are individual, and because of that, they all learn at different developmental paces. They all learn in different styles better than others, and how children have they're really active seekers of knowledge. We are born with the desire to learn, and it is up to parents and teachers to encourage that and help them to continue with that desire instead of burning out that flame. Maria's theory is made up of some developmental phases, which include the individual phase, the social development phase, the birth of the adult phase, and the mature phase. So talks about in all of these phases, there's what she calls a window of opportunity, where children or adults are seeking to learn a specific skill. An example is such as a baby who's learning to walk. When they get to the point where they have that coordination to learn to walk, that's a window of opportunity for an adult to really step in and encourage them and help them to do that, but also letting them do that independently. Same thing could go for a kid learning to speak. So let's see here. Some other points of her theory are in her classroom she thought it was important to mix ages because children at different ages can help each other learn, and how we learn best when we're helping others. So she thought that was important. Another thing that she really stressed was the importance of an organized classroom that is full of available material that can aid the children in learning, that we don't need to sit down and block out space of time like an hour for math, an hour for reading, but instead there should just be a big block of time where a children can find a subject that he finds interesting and can dive into it as deep as he wants for as long as he wants. She also found it was important when, like I kind of based on before, that the children are teaching themselves, that they're very independent. She stressed independence, how children need to learn from a young age and at a young age to be responsible for their learning and for the skills they are obtaining. And if we give them the choice and opportunity to do so, how they'll take advantage of that and they will become a lot more independent. I really enjoyed this theory when I was learning about it. Growing up, I was actually homeschooled until 9th grade, and then I chose to go to high school. But I feel like when I compare my homeschool education to my public school education, the biggest difference in it is probably my personal motivation and the joy that I found in the education and the things I was learning. My mom was definitely a lot more Montessori method minded as she taught us, and I remember telling her we wanted to go to the library, and she'd let us pick out any book in the library we wanted, and then we'd write a book report, and it was all our idea. But just how I enjoyed things like that so much more is because I wasn't being forced to do it. It was something that I enjoyed, and I think that is something that the Montessori method is a way that it can really benefit children and all those who are able to be a part of it. Thanks.